What's up, headbangers, metalheads, earth dogs? This is Max Cavalera from SOULFLY, and you're watching Music Insider TV. Stay metal.
What's going on, guys? It's Devin here with Music Insider TV, and we are here with the almighty Max Cavalera. How you doing, man?
You're too kind. How you doing, y'all?
We're here on the Boardwalk on the Archangel tour with Lodi Kong, Abnormality, Battlecross, and Suffocation, of course, Soulfly. Let's talk about the new Archangel album. It was released August 14th of last year, 2015. And what does it mean to you?
It's a very cool record for me because it's a different album, you know. I was trying different things and listen to different stuff when I created the album. I was listening to a lot of extreme stuff like Watain and Behemoth and Belphegor, you know, so all that kind of filtered through, and I think that's what gave the idea for the biblical lyrics, you know. And then we created the artwork, which I think it looks awesome. Eliran Cantor did the artwork, and I love that angel, Saint Michael angel with the Soulfly weapon. And as far as the album itself, I really think it's really a bunch of cool songs, you know, especially Sodomites with Todd from Nails singing with me, and you know, Live Life Hard with Matt from King Parrot, and the other songs that we are playing every night, like Ishtar Rising, We Sold Our Souls to Metal, Archangel, Titans. Yeah, man, you know, I think it's a strong record, and you know, it's just, I'm glad it was the album that we decided to make, and I gotta give credit to the production. Matt Hyde did an amazing job producing the album, and I'm stoked. We've been playing every night, and even from the get-go, from We Sold Our Souls to Metal, it's on fire right there, you know. So I'm very pleased with the fan reaction to the record and with the record itself.
Is it a concept album, or does each song on the title have a different meaning?
Yeah, not a concept album, even though most of it is biblical stuff.
Okay.
You know, I was reading a lot of Old Testament stuff, and there's a lot of real violent, very bloody stuff on the Old Testament, the story of Sodom, and I like a lot of old Babylon themes too, like stuff from like Mesopotamia, and kind of like old history stuff. That's what gave birth to like stuff like Ishtar Rising. Ishtar was the goddess of Babylon, and then stuff like Archangel is about the war in heaven, a little bit influenced by the movie Prophecy. I really like the movie a lot with Christopher Walken. You know, it's like the beginning scenes when they show the angels, you know, falling from the sky, like a war in heaven. You know, so I put that on, a lot of that on the record, and but it's not a concept record because you got songs like We Sold Our Souls to Metal, which is just about being metal and loving metal, and Live Life Hard, which is about life on the road, loving this hard life that we live, you know, that's not for the fainted heart, but we embrace it. And so overall, it's not a concept album, but a lot of the stuff is biblical, you know.
Are you happy to be playing Ace of Spades as a tribute to Lemmy?
We've been doing that. We did it with Crowbar, it was great, and we did it with King Parrot in Europe. Now we're doing it with everybody from this tour. So we got a lot of people on the stage.
Yeah.
We got, you know, the Suffocation guys, the Battlecross guys, Malika from Abnormality, Igor from Lodi Kong, Rick and Terrence and Kevin from Suffocation play on it. So it's a full, you know, cool ending of the show. It's kind of like a party, almost like celebration party ending of the set, to a great man, which was Lemmy, you know, that inspired all of us, you know, to play metal.
There's a story where you pissed off Lemmy.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
Well, I did that like a bunch of times. Our relationship was always not so smooth like other guys, which I think makes it cooler. My friendship with Lemmy is a little bit more interesting because we start off kind of on the wrong foot. The first time I ever met him, I was kind of bugging him. I was in London. I was from Brazil, and we were touring for Beneath the Remains, and we went to a pub, and he was there, and I would start like bugging him, and he wanted to like leave me, get him to leave him alone. So he poured a whole glass of whiskey in my head. I thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, I just got baptized by Levi, in my twisted mind, And then we did a photo shoot for Kerrang, and I show up on the photo shoot drunk, and I was spilling wine all over. I got it on his t-shirt, and he got kind of mad about that a little bit, and so it was kind of, a weird beginning of friendship, and resulting on last show we tried to play Orgasmatron, but we could never play. They wouldn't let us play, so we jumped on their stage naked on the last day of the show. A bunch of Brazilians, acting like a bunch of crazy monkeys on, speed, just jumping all over the stage naked, and he got super mad about that. And but after all that, we made friends again, So it's cool that he came full circle, and I end up being one of the guys that have kind of the most different, I think, friendship with him, because I think most of people just kiss his ass, And I think that's kind of why he told me later when we made friends again. He told me that why he liked me, like I was a, arrogant son of a bitch like him, And he told me that. So I think that's cool. He's like, I never kissed his ass. Although I admire him a lot, and that's why I do this Ace of Spades tribute, But it's not I was never into the kissing ass aspect of things, So I think I got a kind of a cooler friendship with Levi because of that.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace. How's it touring with family?
Oh, it's very cool, man. As you can see, this is kind of like this glorious side. That's my side. I got all my movies, my music, my iPods. We got all the kids in the bus. It's great. I mean, my kids grow up on tour. I remember when they were little. There's pictures of Igor and Zion sleeping on guitar cases with Ozzy singing in the background, and so the chances of them becoming lawyers and doctors is like fucking zero, So I think that eventually they would have become musicians, but I didn't think they would turn out this good. I mean, Zion is a beast on drums, and he's amazing on SOULFLY, and I'm so happy to have him on the band. And I really love Lodi Kong. What they are doing with Lodi Kong is really, really great too. So it's super cool, man. Be able to travel with your family. I work with Gloria, that's my wife, and we do stuff together. We like a lot of the same stuff, and I think that's why our marriage has survived and lasted for so long, because of that. We like the same stuff. We are fighting the same fight. We do this together. So I'm proud to be have one of the most metal families in the metal world. I think our family is full on metal. And I think that's great. We have Richie doing Insight, Zion and Igor on Lodi Kong. Jason does the drum tech. Christina is at home advancing the shows. The whole family, works for us, for SOULFLY or for metal, So it's pretty kick-ass.
How's it? You got to spread time between Cavalera, SOULFLY, Kill or Be Killed.
Little bit, like right now after this tour is over, I go home for a while, but I'm thinking I'm gonna start writing riffs for Kill or Be Killed, because I think that might be the next record I probably will do, which will be next year. The rest of the months, I think by August, September, October, November, December, it's gonna be all doing the Roots thing with Igor. So we're gonna be pretty busy with that, So I'm not gonna have time for writing. So right now is the best time to write some riffs. So I'm gonna do that for Kill or Be Killed right now, and then hit that road for the Roots thing with Igor, which I think has Fear Factory as a opening band, which I'm totally stoked on it. I think that's gonna be great, and I'm stoked to play the Roots with Igor too. Like play the whole record. We've never done anything like that before. It's a huge achievement and a big task for us to pull it off. But I think we can do it. It
was a beautiful record. A lot of people know why, and I do myself. But can you explain the reason why you left Sepultura?
Pretty much, I think it was just one of those things that just happened that nothing could change. It was like accumulation of different ideals and I'm very into integrity and big on loyalty, you know, and half of those guys didn't care much for that kind of stuff, so we kind of butted heads. End up, you know, kind of forcing me to step out, which I did, you know, and because honestly, I thought I was gonna be with Sepultura forever when I gave the band the name, and I was, you know, with Igor, we created that in '83. I thought I was gonna be with that forever, but life has different plans, and it comes at you, and you have to deal with it, you know. But I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise because it led me to do other kind of stuff that I probably could never do it if I was still in Sepultura. So like a lot of the SOULFLY stuff, I really dig it. Like what I was able to accomplish with SOULFLY and then CAVALERA Conspiracy and Killer Be Killed.
And Nail Bomb.
So yeah, you know, so it's like yeah, it's cool, and I'm proud of my years with Sepultura too. You know, I gotta be proud of those records. You know, so they're great records that influence a whole generation of musicians and bands. So you know, nothing wrong with that. So I think it's just one of those things. You know, I'm loyal and I believe in integrity, and some of the stuff those guys did, I don't want to get into detail, but some of the stuff they did didn't really click with my ideals, so it was better to split, you know.
Yeah. How was it getting back in touch with Igor?
It was cool, man. You know, like I love my brother, and I grew up with him, and you know, we were real close when we were kids. We did a lot of stuff together. My mother actually forced that, so sometimes I had to go. You know, even when I went out with my girlfriend, Igor had to come with me. You know, it was like, why are you here, man? I'm with my girlfriend. You know, my mother was like always insisting. So for the 10 years that we didn't see each other was real hard, especially on my mom. But it was worth it because when we come back, especially after Dimebag, you know, the Dimebag thing really hit it deep with all of us, especially us that have brothers in bands like Vinny and Dimebag, or made us appreciate more each second that we have with each other, you know. So now we're in a really great brotherhood friendship that we don't take it for granted. You know, we just enjoy the time we have together and try to make the best out of it.
What are your off-tour activities?
I like walking. At home, I don't do a whole lot. You know, I try to read a lot. So I've been reading a lot of books. I read the All Jorgensen book. I read the Randy Blythe book, Ozzy book. You know, watch a lot of TV. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. You know, and I like a lot of old classic movies like Lawrence of Arabia and The Man That Would Be King, and the old stuff from the 70s, and The Exorcist, you know, shit like that. But it always goes back to metal, you know. It's weird. My life is so centered in metal. Like I gotta listen to metal every day. I gotta be checking out some new band, you know. I gotta be discovering some new band, get in touch with them. That's my favorite thing to do, get in touch with the new bands and get to wear their shirts and support them and stuff like that. And if I'm lucky enough, get to take them on tour like this tour. I think this package is amazing. You know, Lodi Kong, Abnormality, Battle Cross, Suffocation, such a killer. Really worth the money for the ticket. The fan buy the ticket. It's like a full metal powerhouse waiting for them. You know, so yeah, you know, so kind of like, you know, even with my spare time, is always dedicated to metal.
And we gotta wrap this up. What's the best worst memory you have? Best or worst memory?
Of what? Anything?
Anything, man.
Worst, my dad is passing away because it was
That's
real.
hard.
You know, when I was 9 years old, and he had a heart attack in a car with us. So I was like holding him, going to the hospital. And that was like horrible, you know, like a nightmare, you know. And the best, the birth of my kids, Zion and Igor. You know, I think that's like, you know, changed my life when I became a dad. And although I always love music and I'm a huge music fan, almost like religious, like music is my religion. The birth of your kid does something to you, you know, and I think a lot of people that have kids know what I'm talking about. It's something huge that has such an impact on your life. So and to be with them now after 21 years playing with them, it's huge. It's an amazing thing.
It is. And that's going to wrap it up here with SOULFLY. Make sure you go down and click that like button and subscribe button, and we will see you all next time.
Yeah!